This is so exciting, just to see these two beautiful ladies for one thing. I'm in the middle, from my screen at least, from with both Nickoria and Michelle. And so this is a session for people to get to know a little bit more about BUiLT and get to know some of us, some of the members. So our program, it's a pretty short interactive agenda, so we hope people can take use of the chat, and we actually can let you come on stage if you want to. So we'll be talking about our panel of BUiLT members, a little bit about us, what makes us different, why you should join, why you should sponsor, and how to get the most out of BUiLT. That's kind of our agenda, and we have with us today, as I said, Nickoria Johnson, Michelle Straughn-Harvey, and myself, Peter Beasley. You can see our membership title. So BUiLT has a membership program, and membership has privileges. So Nickoria is a technology business leader. So is Michelle. I'm a technology owner class of membership, and you can see our affiliations. I'm going to stop the slideshow, and each of us are going to just tell a little bit more about ourselves. And we could let you all in the chat. Any questions open, I guess, as we get going? We should be here for about 25, 30 minutes of us talking, and then we'll go through the Q&A and the chat line. That's the plan here. So Nickoria, maybe you can let us know a little bit more about you.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having this session. It's really nice to get to connect with people and share a little bit about my journey. I'm new to BUiLT, but I'm so excited about the future opportunities to get involved and to serve, and then just to meet other folks. I've been in Texas now for 24 years in technology, and I'm so happy to found this organization because typically I'm the only, and I know a lot of us feel the same way. So a little bit about me. As I mentioned, in tech for close to 30 years. I started out in high school in technology. I was blessed to be a part of an Urban League program that connected, academically excelling youth in the minority communities. I worked for AT&T Bell Laboratories. By the time I was a junior, I was running a system test lab and writing Unix shell script. And so it was absolutely an amazing start to my tech career. I attended Howard University, and I was a double E major, electrical engineering, for a while until I decided I was a people person and moved into the School of Business and ended my career journey as a management information systems major. So my internship turned into a full-time job. I was a software developer and a system administrator for Lotus Notes. That does kind of age me, but learned a lot in terms of being a hands-on technologist. From there, I went into consulting, ended up here in Dallas, was trying to start a family, so I left consulting and ended up running digital strategy and PMOs at Blockbuster and GameStop. I'm sure y'all have heard of them. And then when I landed at Alliance Data, that's where I was able to really lean more into data services, enterprise architecture, and then application development. So my youngest son is 14 now, and I missed consulting, being able to solve people's problems. So 2 years ago, I jumped from industry back into consulting, and I'm now a principal at Credera, which is a local technology and management consulting firm in Addison. So that's a little bit about my journey. I'm looking forward to hopefully influencing, teaching, and mentoring in terms of contributions that I can give to BUiLT. And then, as I mentioned, just meeting everybody and going on this journey together. So thank you for having me.
So that was very enlightening, and I bet with the three of us, we're going to find some intersection points. And so I didn't know some of those points about you. And so, Michelle, you're up next.
All right. Thank you for having me once again. I am Michelle Straughn-Harvey, and I have been in the technology field 20 plus years. I started early, I would say, originally wanting to be a doctor. And then in high school, as a sophomore, the high school that I attended, you could choose one of three paths, either to go the business route, arts, or sciences. I went the science route and I took biology, chemistry. I didn't want to take physics, so I took computer science. And for 2 years, I learned GW Basic and I was good at it. So I instantly had an epiphany that I wanted to be a programmer and pursued that path. I continued junior college in Belize and had 2 scholarships offered to me. I chose one that was in California, and I attended Loyola Marymount University, where I obtained a computer science degree, a bachelor's of computer science. And right out of college, I was hired by Countrywide Home Loans. Funny story, they were looking for someone more senior, more seasoned, and they couldn't find that person. So they decided to go the route of mentoring and helping to shape someone. I'm definitely grateful for that opportunity. I started as a junior developer, worked my way up, being able to lead teams, manage and own applications, including credit card applications. I've worked and led transformation efforts, modernization efforts. You know how it goes. You get those challenging projects to work on to turn them around. I've managed teams on a multinational front, both in the US and as well in India. My heart lies with continuing to learn and to mentor. I'm definitely blessed that I stumbled across BUiLT, and that Peter, you were gracious enough to invite me to this organization and to be a part of it. I'm rather young. In my membership, I haven't reached that 1 year mark as yet, but I'm definitely thankful for the opportunities that are being offered to myself and others like us. This is a great organization. It provides a platform and learning for us to excel. And now you're on mute.
About that. I am. So you're welcome. You said thank you. You're welcome for inviting you to join us. I think that's I'll kind of say it backwards, but it's not really anything I did special. And you're just as old as the rest of us, or just as young as the rest of us, because we're not even a year old. So nobody's more than a year old. Just interesting. Seeing you both stumbling on the 20 years plus, the oh my goodness, the 30-year plus, 25, and so I can't even count anymore. My goodness, I have like 2 or 3 different 20-year things going on here almost, or maybe 3 now. I'm not real sure. But hi, I'm Peter Beasley, and you don't get to pick your parents. That's an axiom that you have in life. You don't get to pick where you're born either. And so, if you're a woman, you could have been born in Afghanistan. If you're black, you could have been born, in slavery times, or some places in the world where a lot of corruption. And so, certainly got a good run. I did 2 loving, wonderful parents. My dad and mom married 70 years. My dad just died, so they'd still be doing that thing. And then my father was in the Air Force, so I got the opportunity to move around and see a lot growing up. Not held back, was blessed. I think probably my sister helped me out probably the best, because she taught me to read before I went to school, so I could read, and I excelled in school, and had scholarships out of high school. Went to UT Austin in electrical engineering also, and was fortunate enough to make straight A's my first semester, and so that put me on a lot of good lists there at UT. And nobody noticed when my grades started slipping. They still remembered me as that smart little kid. I loved self-paced physics. Finished the first semester like half early. I had the second half almost off because it's self-paced. You could go as fast as you wanted. Thought I was going to go to Bell Labs because I was interviewing quite a bit, and they felt I should be in a closet somewhere working on circuit boards or something like that. I think, Nickoria, you said you had that moment where you felt you're more of a people person. I didn't have that moment. Everyone said, no, you need to be in the closet working on things. And so, it was okay. You got to know your lane. And so I did have 8 job offers out of college, and was blessed again with this opportunity with Mobil Oil. They had an opportunity where you're in field operations. So I started out in uranium exploration, 2 weeks on, 1 week off, designing electronics for uranium detection and downhole tools. Then from there on a ship, exploration vessel, 2 months on, 1 month off. First trip was to Athens, Greece, and got off in Aberdeen, Scotland, and all over the world for 3.5 years. That was a great eye-opening experience. And then big oil downsized, and then got on this journey of advancing management change. I switched from engineering to IT while at Mobil. Managed technical support group. That's kind of desktop support. I manage a desktop support group, and then in IT, I've always been in management. I've never been an engineer or a developer. And so from Mobil, UT Southwestern Medical Center, network services manager, Excel telecommunications senior manager of infrastructure kind of roles, and then from there on, Software Spectrum, Mobile Systems International, First Horizon Home Loan, First American Real Estate. But as I kept moving up, I kept getting laid off. Then I started getting gaps in employment. Never made sense to me that, why I'm such a hard worker, smart, do a lot of good things, but I have to go get another job again. And some of the people that were getting promoted faster, or I worked for even, I could do as much, or if not more, than those people, and had for those companies. And so in my last job change to First American Real Estate, I was laid off and had a 3 to 4 month gap. That was a little spooky in my early 40s. So I thought, plan B might need to be plan A, or plan A is not going to work for me. I'm just, retiring on out somewhere at the top. So plan B was a software company idea that I'd had since '99 that I had not really done anything with. So the motivation of being in transition, day one, when I started my new next employer, I enrolled in MBA school on their tuition reimbursement plan, got my MBA, didn't even finish my MBA, and it was very accelerated. I think I got it in a year and a half or something like that, but that job went away. So there I am with a prototype, but not yet funded, not yet anything. Should I get another job? Can I get another job? My decision point was, I think I can get another job, but I have no guarantee I can keep it, because all these other jobs I thought I had went away. So I bet on myself. I felt if I have to let myself go now, it's me. So I started NetWatt Solutions. We're a product company. We have a software product in the configuration management space, CMDB product. And so that is a whole nother journey of venture funding and building a team from ground zero. And I've been doing that since that was 03, 04. And so that's almost 20 years there. And about maybe 10 years ago, SIM, the Society of Information Management, I joined as a member. I tried to join as a member. I actually realized a week ago, because I ultimately ended up on the board. I have a lot of membership records, and I can go look at the membership records of the people when I applied, and I was applying to be the first Black person in the chapter. I didn't know that at the time. I was actually denied membership. I appealed and got in, and then I think about 9 years in, I was voted by the members as the first Black on the board there. So I served on the board of the Dallas chapter of SIM. And so that's probably one of my first places of professional organizations and nonprofits. Also in town, there's an organization called TechChange. When I started my software company, very quickly, the startup community said, you don't know what you're doing. You need to go network. You need to meet people. You're going to need funding. the best way to get funding is to meet people before you need to ask for money. Get to know them. People invest with who they know. So I joined TechChange as a member, and then you kind of hang out for a while, then you volunteer. So I was the president of TechChange, and I'm currently still on the board there. And so that's been a great organization. I have another hat. I'm on the board of IT SMF USA, IT Service Management Forum USA. Somewhat as a whim, but I'll run for the board. I got on the board 3 years ago. Unlike BUiLT, that organization's been in decline for some years, and so it's a great turnaround opportunity. So I got voted president-elect this year. I'm president of that, and also executive director and chairman of the board of BUiLT. So that's a little bit about me, and I do have a quick commercial that I will unfortunately bore everybody with or run everybody through about BUiLT. Let me make sure I can find it and get it started. Yeah, there it is. So Nickoria and Michelle, did you find common ground between you two in each other's talks?
Well, I did see some differences with both of you in that I have been at one company the entire span of my career. So for both of you, there's definitely variety and diversity in the experiences that you've been able to bring. I think similarities might be having various different roles, being able to work and solve challenges that we're faced with. I definitely see similarities there. Perseverance too.
Yeah, I think so. And then I think, Michelle, you talked about, coming in as not the senior candidate and then having mentors and allies kind of help shape you and grow you up into that role. Very similar experience for me in my first real full-time position. They said, hey, go do this thing, go install this app. And I didn't know anything about how to work a network and support a large organization. But I did have some really good advocates that, I guess saw some talent and wanted to walk me through that and helped accelerate my growth. So I think that's in common too.
Yes, I think there is some commonality that we have being Black in tech too. And so we can interweave that in our talk here coming up. So in BUiLT, we always say it's about you. It's not about us. It's about you, and we always want to know what's on people's mind. So those of you here again through the chat, or you can actually think you should have a button that says request to share your audio and video, and we can let you on the stage. But if you don't know, we're 23 chapters across 4 countries. It's free to attend on the meetup model. We have 8748 people I noticed earlier today, and today in the North Texas chapter, which we hail out of here, 2488 in our meetup model. You can see the cities of where we have ongoing chapters, and we are often quoted in publications. There's actually an article being developed in Tech Target, so look for that to come out. Myself and John and DeAndre co-founded BUiLT in September of last year. We all birthed out of another brand, an organization called Blacks in Technology. John started the first Blacks in Technology chapter in 2011. I like what he says. He thought he was the smartest guy on the planet and named his group Blacks in Technology. Someone else in Ohio had already trademarked that and had a logo. The two guys met up, said, cool, no problem. And so John ran his group as Blacks in Technology on the Meetup platform, and then another one showed up in another city and state, and another. So in March of 2019, is that right? Yeah, March of 2020, I reached out to roll up all the BIT groups, and we first came together as BIT International, Blacks in Technology International. And then in 2020 of September, 84% of us changed our name to Blacks United in Leading Technology. The big U is important to us. We're Uniters, and the little I, it's not about us. It's not about our brand. And you can see who we are. And we have a board of directors. We are not owned by anybody. It's a public nonprofit. We're 501(c)(3). we can accept public donations. And we have 8 board members. We're actually looking for a 9th, and we are putting in an executive advisory board also. We have also some staff. Michelle is on our staff. She's our director of partnerships too. And Raquel Robinson out of Austin helps with fundraising. Chloe is in North Texas, and many of you have interacted with her throughout the symposium. She helps with many things in the back office. And Chase Payne, just last week, has stepped up to be our interim marketing manager. And I'm so excited about that because I don't do it anymore now. And so we'll get him up to speed there. And we have committees with professional organizations. There's committees, and so you can get on board, you can get involved. Carla leads a membership committee, Carrie with programs, and Chase on communication. So reach out to us, info@BUiLTinternational.org. That's how you get started. You're looking for mentors, you're looking for venture funding, you're looking for jobs, you're looking for career development. Get started with volunteering. That's a great success factor. We have a new chapter leader in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's Brandon Sharper, and you can see where we have other chapter leaders and where we need chapter leaders. We have a couple in application in San Antonio, Detroit, and now Memphis, just in the last 2 days here. We have a winning mix of programs: entrepreneurial series, leadership development, entering tech, career development, and the like. That's what you can find with our programming in person now and virtually. And we have an open jobs board. It's free to post. It's free to look for a job, post your resume out there. As I mentioned, we have a dues program, and there's benefits from membership. You can see the pricing there. This is not really a commercial, but you get the right to vote and to serve others, and members only benefits. So we had an event Monday night. Nickoria was there. All of us were there, actually. Now that I think about it, it's wonderful, completely paid for. We had sponsors that paid for it. And Wakima, she came up from New Orleans. So we have members only benefits that you have to be a member to partake of. We have technical workshops coming up in the next couple of weeks. That's a new program that we're offering. And Crystal Folks and Terrence Buckley, who've been involved in this organization, the symposium this last couple of days, they are speaking. And the symposium that we're all a part of, that is an offering of BUiLT, and we will have other symposiums across the country, and ideally with North Texas again. And we believe in coalescing and supporting the local community. So this is a little difference I would like to say that we have, or we think we have, that we want to help unite everybody. We don't think we're overly special. We're different. We provide value. We want every chapter to be grassroots driven, i.e. local leaders to do what they need for those communities, bringing together all the different organizations, NSBE, BDPA, Black Girls That Drone, and on and on and on. So we believe in being a purely nonprofit, and you can, if you look close enough on the price points on a lot of things, you can tell that it's closely aligned or completely a for-profit venture, and there are people that make money in what they're doing, and that's good for people to make money. But is it based on the resources and the giving of volunteers, though? Are there paid speakers, or all the speakers volunteers? Are there chapter leaders that are volunteers, or are they paid? If everybody's paid, that's good. But to have a few make money on the volunteers of a larger community, that's not what we're about. Benefits to the community, the local society community, value to sponsors is a big tenet of ours, and to help society. We are really about our mission to help increase the representation and participation of people in technology, Black people in technology. So you can see where you can find us on the Meetup platform. And so thought maybe we could have a little bit of a conversation here. If I can get back here. Back. Oops. So since Nickoria, I think you said you're the newest member. What would be some of the things that attracted you to doozing up and joining to be a dues paying member?
Yeah. First of all, I was scanning through some of the events and classes and things that BUiLT is offering, and I was very excited, like you said, about the price point. For this $195 that I paid for as a technology owner, getting a chance to connect with people, to take classes, get certifications, and in my new role, as of July 1st, I'll be Chief Diversity Officer at my company, trying to figure out how we do a better job at reaching folks in the area. I mean, we're here, but how do I find you? How do I connect with you? How do I help identify some job opportunities? And so for me, being a part of this is definitely a two-way street. I hope to share as much as I can gain, but really just seeing faces and understanding the jobs and the roles and who's who in this area is just invaluable to me.
Yes. So, have you been a part of other professional organizations in your career?
Yeah, I have. It's funny. Most of the things I'm involved in are around girls in STEM, just because that's part of my story. So I'm involved with an organization I'm on the board of High Tech High Heels, which is really catering funding for programs in local markets to help advance STEM. I'm on the advisory board for Girl Scouts North Texas. And then I do a little bit of work with Center for Nonprofit Management, which provides dashboarding and metrics evaluation for nonprofits in a place where nonprofits can come together and learn from each other. And then Bold Idea, Tech Girls. So there's a bunch of organizations, but really looking forward to being able to pour into the Black community.
Sure. Michelle, how about you too, with respect to professional organizations that you've been involved in?
So not so much professional organizations, more so nonprofits. And with those, my goals for being able to give back and mentor align with those organizations. So organizations that I am a part of, I am a board member for an organization that's local here in Dallas, in the Dallas area, called Shared Housing. Um, and it's transitional housing for veterans, single moms, and elderly, helping them to get back on their feet. I'm one of the newest board members within that organization. I'm a part of BUiLT, which is the National Computing Organization for Women in Technology. I'm a member of several employee resource groups within Bank of America. Recently, I was co-chair for the North Texas chapter of Women in Technology and Operations. I do some mentoring for Mentium, where they focus on pairing senior managers and executives with juniors who are just coming into their careers to share your experiences. I also did Toastmasters to help me being able to be present at an event such as these, whether virtual or in person. And there are a few other organizations as well. So I try to keep myself busy. I try to give back as much as I can. And a lot of what I do is driven by ensuring that I'm a good example, not only to those that I'm interacting with, but as well to my 3 daughters.
Awesome. And likewise with me too. So I've been involved with BDPA, Black Data Processing Associates, been a dues paying member, and I don't know if I served here in Dallas. I don't think I did, but National Society of Black Engineers, I've been a dues paying member. I've spoken there. IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, I think, is that what that one is? That was pretty far back. National Black MBA Association. So I have an MBA. I joined that. Actually won a business plan competition some years back when I started my company. Went and pitched at one of their national symposiums. But then SIM as a professional organization. And so, you mentioned nonprofits, both of you, and giving and serving. I can remember a senior class president in high school. That's pretty far back. But giving and serving, Nickoria, Michelle, is that a theme for you to help you get, to the upper levels in business that you've been in?
Definitely for me. I mean, I am where I am because there have been people who have helped to pave the way, who have led by example, who, I might have leaned on to share their experiences and stories to advise me how is not to go wrong. And come from my background, my grandmother was a teacher, so she was always giving. Up until she was 80, she was tutoring and helping kids. So I think that's something that's instilled in me, and I have that drive to give back and to help others. And for selfish reasons, I learn a lot too by those that I interact with. Giving is definitely an inherent part of me.
Yeah.
Nickoria?
And likewise, from the very beginning, like I mentioned, the only reason I'm where I am today really is because of a program that someone poured into me with, right? The Urban League is an amazing organization. I'm from up north, so Chicago area, very active there. I know in Dallas, our Urban League shut down many years ago, but that at the core is, I fully acknowledge that. That's how I got here. And so whatever I can do to pour back into the community is huge. I consider myself a servant leader. My primary gifting is helps. And so I can't help but help. And I love the fact that when I turn my computer off, I have other organizations, other people very involved in my church in a leadership role as well. And, it fills me up. And so whatever I can do to help people is why I exist, I believe so.
You bring back memories of place. That sounds like place testing and your spiritual gifts. And mine is, I think my first or second is gifts and giving and administration and the like. And so I see in the chat, Kareem Kinslow, although y'all are very new, what has BUiLT done for you thus far? That was his first question of, what has it done for you? And, it's new for all of us. Again, BUiLT is new, but I can go first. I'll let you all say, what has it done for us? And I'm, chairman of the board, executive director, lead the North Texas chapter. But it has done so much for me, and it's much like Nickoria said. It's just helped me with my purpose in life. Someone else in one of the sessions, your job and vocation is what you do for a living, and your purpose is about who you are. And I think I can say I found a purpose that certainly exhibited that drive in some of the other nonprofits I've been involved in, and Boy Scouts and student council, and but here with something, and you both mentioned women, and we're all Black, and so it was very easy to buy into this mission. And then at my point in life, I just had a lot of connections and ability to allow this organization to allow me to feel good, deliver, meet my destiny purpose, for however short of a window or long that is. And so BUiLT's done a lot for me, even though some people might say it's me doing for it, but it's just so impactful for me personally. How about you, Michelle?
A bit of the same of what you mentioned, being able to help live my passion, which is, giving back, but also learning. There have been a lot of great sessions where I'm keeping abreast of what's going on in technology, allowing me to make connections with people who are either providing sessions or attending sessions. And just to know that there are others like me with shared experiences. So with that, I would say somewhat a place of solace, to be able to interact with like minds and to share experiences, and a lot to learn as well. There's a pen test class, a workshop that's going on, a 7-week one. If I wanted to do that, I can do that as a member really cheap instead of going out there and paying hundreds of dollars. And there are lots of these workshops and sessions out there. So in that sense, I think BUiLT has given me a lot more than I've actually, obtained.
Nickoria?
I looked at the pen test cost. And I said, whoa. This is a really, really huge advantage. I am turning around into my organization to our Black technologists who might not be aware of BUiLT and sharing with them, if I were younger in my career, number one, being able to meet all of these people, it is huge. And then also, the level of depth with all of the workshops and the training, and they're smaller, intimate, specific to us, with our people leading. I mean, that's hugely inspirational. And so I would highly encourage anyone that's just starting their tech career to get involved as quickly as you can and lead and serve, right? You can give back no matter what level of person you are at a company. You can give back to this organization, and you can turn around and influence others in your circle.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just listening to all of the sessions, so one of the other ways this organization has given back to me, the fact that I'm intimately involved with this symposium. We birthed it here in North Texas. We conceived it with the help of other groups, so we're not going to claim we came up with this idea solo. That's a great idea. We are the largest in the area. It was the easiest for us to pull it off. We're funded. We have money. So we took the lead. Sometimes you just take the lead or become the leader or act like the leader to ensure you get there, because it's very easy to get just stuck on zero. Don't get anywhere. But the fact that I've been involved, I've had to hear or got to enjoy in so many of the keynotes, some of the presentations, and it would have been great to have had this knowledge 15, 20, 30 years ago. I literally just learned the word microaggressions probably 8 months ago. And I was describing to, I was interviewed about it by a reporter that in venture funding, one of the venture capitalists asked me if my grandparents were slaves. And I just thought it was a dumb question. I didn't realize it's a put down, or it's, makes you feel some kind of way. That's a microaggression and all these things, and how to navigate it, how to expect them. And so the benefits that you get now and for your kids and in the future and to help you navigate your career is just incredible and invaluable. So, where are you both headed next in your careers? You're both senior business leaders, principals, SVPs. I'm certainly a leader too. So who's gone first each time? Nickoria, maybe you can go first this time. What's next? You said you're back in consulting your love, moving in the DEI space of your organization to a degree, but what's headed up next?
Yeah, so my journey to get to this role that I'm going to be taking on full-time Chief Diversity Officer, I wouldn't have thought 3 years ago this would have been, number one, an opportunity that I would have been able to attain or to roll into. But number two, after all of the events last year, I couldn't do anything but wake up and think about how I can change my company. And so it is a total blessing to be able to serve in this capacity. I'm hopeful that I can bring lots of opportunity to, our team, our people, to other underrepresented folks, and just make my company a better company. Our values are amazing there, really good-hearted and intended people, but we've made a lot of missteps. So for me, it's really leaning in and focusing on how to make this journey much more inclusive, creating the sense of belonging, and then just really focus on the diversity aspect. We've got 16 Black people currently in our organization, and that is a shame. There are so many of us. So that's where I'm planning on leaning in. I'm in school, right, learning about how to do this well, and definitely am partnering with other diversity officers in the area. So really looking forward to learning what that is. So that's my next step. I also am still doing a little bit of client delivery. So you may see me at your companies coming in and trying to help solve for some of the technical problems.
16 of how big is Credera employee-wise?
We've got 650 people.
Okay.
So again, in all transparency, that is where my focus is going to be.
Awesome. Michelle, what's on the horizon?
Sure. I recall a few years back, my daughter, she was probably 6 at the time, asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. Now, I've already been in the corporate life for several years now. It kind of took me aback, but the next chapter for me will be entrepreneurship paired with a socially responsible project. I am passionate about uplifting our people. I am passionate about helping to create pathways for upward mobility, not only here in the US, but as well in Belize. So my attentions will be shifted towards that. So as I slowly make my exit from corporate life, that's what I'll be doing. And in that sense, BUiLT is perfect because we have so many connections and networks to lean on other entrepreneurs, to help me as I journey on. So that's what's next for me.
Yes, and
Awesome.
yes. For me, I know I keep saying the next for me is my backyard. So some of you might know my mom has moved in with me, and she's been a champ throughout this symposium. Just so, Mom, I'm going to be on Zoom for it's not Zoom for 3 days straight here, and so she's doing a great job. So my next move, I say, is in my backyard with my mom. So I'm working very hard to replace myself or to build myself out of a job. I did take note of a duality that when I applied for membership in SIM, and this was 0405, again, I was denied because I owned a software company. And in many cases, that should be a plus mark, but that was actually a reason I couldn't get in. Well, you own your own business, but once I got in, there were many white people that own their own business too. And then being able to birth programs, opportunities, ideas. I'm a creative ideas kind of person. Founders often are. And having this platform where we are, I've worked pretty hard here, but it's such a joy to actually have people, members that can run with ideas and pass them off. So my next development plan is to get people in co-leadership roles, complete leadership roles. Nickoria and Michelle's already on she's our director of partnerships, and we need co-leaders of the North Texas chapter, have other board opportunities. And so very much an evangelist of getting people getting in, because I've seen the benefits of serving. And so I would really want that for other people. So Kinslow asked, it's been 20 minutes now, but would we recommend BUiLT to someone who wants to start their tech career? And anybody can answer that, I bet.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend BUiLT. I mean, I look at just being less than a year old, and so many different strides that have already been made. Look at the members of BUiLT. We have people who are early in their career, and I'm not sure if you are, Kareem. We have others who are more seasoned, and we have those who are perhaps wishing to make a career change. Through BUiLT, there's reskilling, there's upskilling, there's the sharing of experiences to help us avoid pitfalls. There's that sense of community. There's a lot that you can tap into here at BUiLT.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, and often the questions come, what has it done for you lately? What can it do for you? My $45, my $95, what do I get from that? Okay, you get more door prize raffles. You get to come to some events that have tacos and guacamole. Like I have left over at my house now. I have a lot of guacamole from Monday night. Guacamole you got to eat pretty quick too. And so yeah, you get that. But it's still a lot about, giving, and you get so much more out of life. That's just a secret sauce that we all learn by giving. And so any specifics from either of you, any specific plans you have to give to BUiLT?
Yes.
I haven't. Go ahead, sorry.
I'd love to talk a little bit more about that. I think I mentioned my time constraint this season. My mother-in-law's here with us and going through some health issues, so I can kind of understand, tag in on you with that, Peter. But I would love to mentor, teach. I do public speaking if there's any workshops, etc. So anything I can do that's tactical right now, but in the future I would love to consider serving at a higher level. So
awesome.
Definitely mentorship for me, and because we're still young, I would say wherever we have needs that our membership, might need served, definitely would be willing to raise my hand and plug in.
Yes, and you already have again partnerships, and so getting the various organizations, National Society of Black Engineers, Black Girls at Drone, Blacks in AI, and then the ERG groups. Dallas is deep and wide with ERG groups and coalescing them and getting all involved. I would like to say if we did this again in 6 months or a year, it'd be a walk-off grand slam. Those are kind of the biggest play, and in baseball, we could do that. Hail Marys. I wouldn't even call it a Hail Mary. It would be in the park home runs and out of the park home runs. We could do very well with doing it again with the methodology that we have in relationships. So I'm excited about that. I will again invite people in the audience to put some questions in, and if we do finish up early, the next keynote is at noon. And I do have a question for you, Nickoria. Something's come to mind that's very tactical, so I'll catch you before I let you get away. So other questions in the chat with anybody?
Yeah, I will say one thing, advantage, even if you pay your $95, $65, whatever it is, if you meet one person that can connect you to your next opportunity, that's huge. I shared last night in the session that I've had 17 jobs, Peter, leave me alone. But 14 out of my 17 jobs since high school, I've literally gotten because I knew somebody. Somebody referred me, somebody talked to me, somebody thought of me. I reached out on LinkedIn, etc., and or I rekindled a relationship. So even if that's the only thing that you do, you meet one person, totally worth the investment because that's a lifetime relationship.
I would also add that as an introvert, this is definitely a great platform because there are no judgments and you have the opportunity to practice, to get great feedback. You can work behind the scenes, you can be bold and, take that leap and be in a session such as this. But there are a lot of opportunities, whatever your personality, whatever your background. We're all here, with a united mission to make ourselves and our communities better.
Yes. So I don't want to leave you hanging there, Michelle. I'm an introvert too, and I've been down the Toastmasters path because it was so bad for me public speaking in the early part of my career. And then I do look at Christopher Plumley, if you've seen him throughout this program, and I've been a part of his African American executive networking group, and he is so gifted with oration skills and people skills, and a lot of people in tech are not. I mean, we're introverted. We're technologists. We're hands down developers. We're like to be in the data center. Leave me alone. Don't bother me. Another meeting. Oh my goodness, kind of thing. Versus people that light up the room. They bring it. They can't stand not being around people. That is not me. But I can do this. I'm able to do it. So that should suggest to folks too that you can do a lot of these things. And this early in your career, get started early, and then it's effortless after a year, after 5 years. DFW Tech Exchange, when I was on the board, it's about empowering technology entrepreneurs. And on our board, there was only 2 that actually were technology entrepreneurs, me and another guy. The rest were lawyers and investors and people that wanted to be around us, but we weren't a board of them. And so they literally told us, one of us is going to be president 1 year and one's going to be president the next year, and you guys go pick which one's going to be president. And I said, I want to do it first because I don't want to come after him, because let me just get this out of the way. And it was brutal. I mean, it's a lot of statesmanship and hand gladding, and that really ain't me, but I did it, and I'm better at it now. And so I jumped in. I was pushed in. I know so many more people. I know investors. Joe Beard that just went before. I can call. I have a cell number. He answers my call. He and I are on the board of Tech Exchange, and so getting on these boards and getting access to people, that's secret sauce. SIM, I was a member of SIM, it was guaranteed customers for me. You can't sell at a meeting, but you go to lunch with them and they ask what you do, and I did something that they needed, and it was effortless, but I'd worked hard to get there. And so volunteering, serving is a big part of what you should do in your careers, in your professional side, to get that plum project, to get a promotion, serve on the diversity committee, serve on the cleanup committee. That's a church. Put up the chairs, just get recognized. As again, all the way back to high school and city council, student council, to Girl Scouts, and it's just a winning technique in life is to serve and give and get back along the way. Absolutely. So what would you both like to bring up next, if anything, before we drop off?
I saw a question in the chat from Adam, how to keep professional relationships strong with all that's going on. Hands down, my calendar. My husband's very spontaneous, and I try my best to be spontaneous when I can, but it is my calendar. I schedule everything. And by doing that, I make sure that I prioritize my family, number one. Number two, I mentioned I serve in a lot of different areas. And then number three, kind of me time to keep myself together. But the only way I can do that is if I schedule everything. So my family knows, send mom a schedule item if you need something from her outside of normal family time. And does that sound bad? Yes, but it helps me to prioritize. Because otherwise, there's no way you can keep all the things, all the balls in the air going if you aren't intentional. So that works for me.
I definitely agree with that, and especially if you're working along with advocates or mentors, or even people who just helped you along the way, you want to make sure you're keeping in touch, whether it's every 6 months or every 3 months, because no one wants to feel used, right? You build those relationships because they're going to help you and help others along the way. So I would say definitely use that calendar system. If you're forgetful, that keeps you in check. And keeping those relationships open will do wonders. Nickoria mentioned, being able to get her next roles because of relationships and networking that she had in place.
Yes, I would actually say I haven't done the best at this in my professional career or even in life, and I'm more of a doer, and unfortunately err towards the project, the invention, the patent, the thing, and not the people aspects of it. And so what does work for me, and how BUiLT helps, and other organizations like this, is finding people that you complement. So a lot of people that are very good with their professional networking and networks don't like sitting in the closet or hands down getting something out that project. I like that stuff. And so working with them, or allowing them to recognize you, putting yourself in positions where they see you. Again, this symposium, I certainly personally got a lot of accolades, emails, and support, and shout outs along the way due to the work that we've done. This team, Michelle's on the planning team for this symposium too, and so that helps my professional network just on the things that I've done, and those people can remember me. And so that's another kind of backhanded way to work on your professional network, is through working honorably, giving, being ethically sound, and often that'll pay itself back to you. Yemi piggybacks on that. What tips would you give for learning new skills with everything that's going on? What new tips, new learning tips? Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I can share a few. So I've used Udemy, I've used Coursera, I've taken advantage of what BUiLT has to offer. When I used to drive into work, I used to listen to audiobooks. I might put them on repeat. Those definitely helped me. There's also looking at the community colleges. They offer some hands-on training, and it depends on what training and skills you're looking to pick up on, but that's another source that you could potentially tap into. There are older courses offered by Harvard and some other universities as well that you could actually take for free. So those are some of the ways in which I've stayed current. At the bank, there's a app called GTNO University, and you can go through and take several courses for those new skills that you're interested in, and then that way you're able to upskill. You could also try to align yourself with someone in the field and ask them for tips, whether it's shadowing or just sharing of experience.
Yeah, and Michelle, everything that you mentioned, the key word there is it's all virtual and self-paced. And so gone are the days when you got to drive to the college to take the course to get the cert. My online program I'm on through Cornell is just as intense, but it's self-paced, which helps me be able to plug it into my schedule to get everything completed in the 12 weeks. So online, online, online.
Yes. I just realized there is actually our stopping point was 11:15, and not me. It was like, wait a minute, something's not right here. And so there are some other sessions that are underway. Fortunately, I'm not supposed to be in any of them, but my phone was blowing up, so I might have to go check on somebody to make sure they made it in the right place. I'm going to give you a call quickly here, not right now, but pretty soon here, Nickoria, and I will just double check. And I thank you both so much for being new to the program and just sharing what it's done for you and what you can do for the community and BUiLT.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Nice to meet everybody.
Right. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.